I'm Ira Moore, founder of the Moore Law Firm. We're located in the Westage Business Center in Fishkill, New York. I'm recording this today because I want to talk about a significant problem that I think continues to exist for no good reason, and that is there are so many people who have serious motor vehicle accidents and they are underinsured and unprotected from other people who are underinsured. What am I talking about? In New York, you only have to have a liability policy to put your car on the road of 50,000. That means $25,000 for any one claim and $50,000 for all claims stemming from the same accident. It doesn't take very much to exhaust a $25,000 liability policy. If you have any sort of serious injury in a motor vehicle accident, and I frequently represent people with spine injuries involving their necks, their lower backs, concussions and post-concussion syndrome as a result of being hit in the rear, hit from behind, hit head on, or T-boned from the side. Any of these things can cause a serious injury. And if the car that hits you only has a minimal policy, you're going to find yourself with a significant injury with a lot of damages, economic and otherwise, and no place to really satisfy it. So what can you do, if anything, to protect yourself from that type of problem? The answer is your own insurance company is required by law to sell you supplementary, uninsured, underinsured motorist coverage, or SUM, S-U-M for short. What is it? It protects you if the other car that hits you has no insurance, but if they have a small policy, you can get more than the basic 25,000, 50,000 sum coverage for a very small sum of money and have added coverage through your own policy. What does this do for you? Well, if the other car that hits you has a $25,000 policy and you have 250,000 slash 500,000 sum coverage, you file a separate claim directly with your own insurance company. You will not, if the accident is not your fault, you will not be penalized by your insurance company for making the claim. They will have a separate adjuster for the sum coverage. And then when the time comes, settlement with the other driver's insurance company can be made, but with the prior knowledge and written consent of your own insurance company sum adjuster. Then, once you settle with the other company, you now look at your own sum insurance, and you have to negotiate with your insurance company to convince them that your damages are worth whatever you believe they're worth, and see if you can agree on a settlement number. If you can't, you don't have to file a lawsuit. What you do is you file for arbitration, and it's a much quicker process, and it's much less costly to pursue. It's not something you should do without a lawyer. Even lawyers sometimes make mistakes with some coverage claims, but it's a way to protect yourself. So for example, let's say you have $1 million injury and the other driver has a $25,000, 50,000 liability policy. That means first you settle with the other insurance company for 25,000. Then from the remaining $1 million sum coverage that you have, they subtract the 25,000 from the million, and the remaining 975,000 is the maximum amount you can seek from your own sum coverage. And then negotiations begin once you've completed your medical treatment and all of your injuries are understood, so that people can properly evaluate what your injuries are worth. How much does this cost? It's very inexpensive to get some coverage, and there's zero reason not to purchase as much as your insurance company will sell you. For example, just as an approximation, you can probably get 250,000 slash 500,000 sum coverage for a couple $100 a year. Now, it's certainly a couple $100 a year may be a lot of money for some people, especially in downward economic times when people are trying to make ends meet. But there are so many accidents happening on the road because of distracted drivers. There are so many electronic gadgets in our cars these days that it's not just using your cell phone, It's using anything electronic that causes you to look down at your dashboard and take your eye off the road or not be focused in terms of your attention on your driving, that I have so many people who are coming into this office now, mostly with hit in the rears, but there are head-on collisions and also collisions from the side, T-bone collisions. So you want to protect yourself. I hate having to explain to people that their very significant injury is not going to bring them much money because of the insurance situation. And this is a way that you can protect yourself. So I urge you to call up your insurance broker, confirm how much you have in some coverage. It's probably the minimum, but maybe you have more, and find out how much more you can get and purchase it. It is a decision that you will never regret. Hopefully you will never need it, but it will give you protection, the same kind of protection you have when you purchase life insurance. This is even more important because you're more likely to get in a car accident than you are to lose your life at a time when you're not planning to do so. If you have any further questions, you can look at maurerlaw.net. That's MAURER law.net. Go to the top of the page to videos, and you can see the various videos that I've recorded. You can also call me. Be happy to give you a free consultation. 845-896-5295. Thank you very much for watching.